So in exercise 2, we're creating variables for design massing inside of Formit. So again, Formit is going to be a great tool for us to really quickly generate a wide range of different massing options, all based on a basic program for the building. And in this exercise, we're going to learn how to draw a basic massing object in Formit, copy the basic massing form to generate design variations, use the basic modeling tools in Formit for ideation. So inside of Formit, one of the first things that I'm going to do is begin working with the footprint of the building that I know from the program, which is about 5,000 square feet. So as a starting point, I'm just going to use the draw tool and establish a basic footprint of around 100 feet by 50 feet. Let's just start with something really simple. I'm going to tap the escape key, select this piece of geometry, and then I'm just going to pull it up about 15 feet. Once I have that, I want to start building some variables with it. So to do that, I'm going to copy and paste it across the site. So I'm going to double click on the object, right click, and then select copy. Then I can simply move to the side, escape, and right click and hit paste. And now I have a duplicate that I can start manipulating. For instance, I can select just an outside edge with a left click and begin pulling that up. So now I have a same basic form, but a roof with a single slope. I can do the same thing, go back to my drawing tool, draw a line right down the center axis, and build sort of a pre-engineered metal roof approach with a gable on each end. Same thing, paste. So I'm up to option number 4 already now. And on this one, again, I can select an edge, pull it vertically, and I can take that same edge and I can pull it along any axis or along the slope of that roof. And I can do that for either side, simply by watching what variables are set in terms of the snapping. So I'm going to continue building variables. And this is also a good time to mention that as you're building these variables, I could begin moving them around on site or hiding them individually and running different simulation passes on these different building forms to see which ones are going to be efficient. That gives me the opportunity to, let simulation inform the design early on in the process. So if you've noticed, in the same way that I can manipulate an edge, I can also manipulate a corner of the geometry. And I can begin building up some reasonably complex forms. That's not just a wall that's curving out. That's at one point. That actually has a complete curve all along the surface. Let's build another variable. Except this time, let's change the footprint around to something that's a little bit more square. Same thing, escape, select the geometry, and pull it up. Again, 15 feet is a height. Double click to select everything on that object. Another double click to copy. Right click, paste. Or I should say that's a double click to select everything, right click, copy, and right click, paste. And now we can go through some of the same variables that we were doing on the previous configuration. Single slope roof, a gable roof. And again, maybe something that's looking at it being slightly more freeform in terms of what we could do by manipulating edges and creating some overhangs. In particular, those would be interesting results to see, both in terms of sending these forms out to the 3D printer and placing them on the site, as well as running simulations on them to see, are there certain forms or are there certain things that are trending towards being more efficient. At this point, I'm not going to know exactly how this is going to perform. I don't know that much about the overall building design yet, but I can begin to see and study certain building forms that work more efficiently in terms of energy costs than others. So in this lesson, we were able to build basic massing models in Formit. We were able to copy forms to generate design variables and begin to learn the basic modeling tools inside of Formit.